great info so far?
Woo!
Yes?
Woo!
Okay. So right now, I'm going to just do my show recruiting spiel, right, which is what I do right before my closing. And then Denise and Bobbie are going to talk more about recruiting after that. So I'm going to go. Can y'all hear? Okay. I'm going to go into show mode again for this. Okay, so we just shared a lot of great tips and ideas about all of our wonderful tools tonight, but I need to share one last thing with you, and that is the best thing that Pampered Chef has to offer, and that's a chance to try on one of our aprons. And I say one of our aprons because there's a lot of different ways that you can be a Pampered Chef consultant and try the business out. So if you'll turn your lap boards over to the outside, I have a great visual for you here that shows you all the different ways that you can do our business. We have many different aprons you can try on, and you really do need to try our business out. Just like you try a dress on, you can try an apron on. You could be a catalog consultant. You could even be a virtual consultant. If you're a virtual consultant, if you're big on Facebook and you like to use social media, then virtual consulting is the perfect thing for you. You never leave your house, and neither do your guests. You could be a short-term consultant. Does anybody here have a wedding that they're saving for, or maybe 2 weddings that they're saving for, or how about braces on the kids' teeth, private school tuition, maybe you need a new car? So things like that would be perfect examples of a short-term consultant trying the business for a little while until they meet that financial need. A hobby consultant, that's somebody who just really loves the products and loves the discount that they get and wants to do a couple of shows every now and then, but nothing, totally consistent. Or you could be a part-time consultant. We work part-time hours that are much less than a traditional part-time job and still make a great income. So part-time with Pampered Chef is definitely not part-time hours that most people are used to. Or you could be like me, and you could be a career consultant. When I got started with this business almost 22 years ago, I had no idea what a blessing it was going to be in my life and how it really is a life-changing opportunity. So when I look out at y'all tonight, I have no idea if you're struggling to make ends meet with your bills, maybe your husband just got laid off, maybe you're just really dying to stay home with your children and not have to go to that full-time job every day. But what I do know is that Pampered Chef can really be the answer to any of those needs. So I encourage you to try it out. We have several kits that you get to choose from, so this is really the best deal of all. We have 3 brand new kits to offer you. You can start your business with an $109 kit, you could start your business with a $159 kit, or you could go for the ultimate kit, which is $249, but it gives you over $1,000 worth of product and business materials to get started. So if this is something you want to try, come talk to me later. We'll get you signed up tonight. You can dip your toe in that water and see how it goes, and what you might find out is that you love it just like I have. The worst thing that can happen is you're going to end up with a kitchen full of tools, and you can go back to being one of my good customers and hosts if the business isn't for you, but I think you'll find that you absolutely love it. So I'll see you at checkout. Let me know how I can help you with anything else. All right. So now we're going to bring up the real experts on recruiting. Bobbie and Denise both have amazing numbers that they have accomplished with their businesses, not only in recruiting, but just overall business numbers. They both have very, very strong businesses. Both of them are Excellence Award achievers, multiple years. Denise has $1.3 million in sales, career sales, so that is an awesome accomplishment. This year so far, she's recruited 14 people. That's another amazing accomplishment. Bobbie has recruited 12, and Bobbie has, this is a really amazing statistic, Bobbie has a 70% qualification rate for the people that she's brought onto her team. So what that means is that not only is she a strong recruiter, but she's a great trainer, and she's great at helping people get their businesses off the ground. So y'all are going to learn a lot from both of these ladies.
Aren't you excited about the new kit options? Right? Just a little facts on that. That's $1,050 worth of products for $249. That's 76% for those number of people. 76% discount. That's an average of $8.30 per product. If you use your kit credit coupon, Jenny talks about in host coaching wherever she went, that brings that to 81% off because it's going to be $199. So that is amazing right there. And just anybody who has recruited in the room this year, if you have recruited one person this year, stand up. The reason why I ask that is because we learned a shocking statistic in national conference, and that is that only 12% of our company is recruiting.
Only 1 out of every 8
Wow.
consultants.
That's so all of the you that stole up, you're part of that 12%, and that's really amazing. So good job. I want to just encourage you that sharing our business means that more people know about Pampered Chef. And when more people know about Pampered Chef and use Pampered Chef and buy Pampered Chef, then Pampered Chef has more revenue to make more resources and to expand. It's a good thing. So sharing the business is not something that should scare you. Okay, so that was just a little side note. That's not in my notes. It's just a little tip off the cuff. Okay, so we want to talk about why recruit. So Denise, you gonna share why?
Okay, first let me ask you a question. How many of you does that word recruit scare the pants off you? Right? I'm with you. I never try to say go recruit somebody. I want you to share the opportunity with someone because that's truly what recruiting is. But the word recruiting is like you're doing something to them, and actually we are doing something for them. And you know what? Our opportunity is a gift. We each have a gift to give to somebody. So are you giving out those gifts? Or how many gifts do you have stashed in a closet because you didn't offer it, or you did offer it, but they were interested and you had no idea what to do? So that happens all the time too. And so, you know what, I want you to think about offering the opportunity, and every single one of you in this room, after you leave here today, y'all need to go out and find somebody. Before you leave today or on your way home, think of who can I offer this to? Who needs extra money? Who needs, Johnny needs braces, Susie needs to go to college, I need money for retirement. And we're going to show you different ways to offer the opportunity, because that's part of it. And then we're going to show you ways and tell you a little bit about the interview. But now, some of you offered a piece of candy. How many of you offered a piece of candy by Bobbie or myself? And those of you who weren't offered a piece of candy and were standing there, how did you feel? Left out.
Left out. That sucks. You know what? That's what we do to many people at our parties. We offer the opportunity to the one that's funny, the one that's bubbly, the one that we think would be a great consultant, when the friend is sitting right there and she wants to do it so bad, but she wasn't offered because she doesn't think she can because she wasn't a host and she's not bubbly or she's not a teacher or she's not this. So think about that. You offer to every single person. And at every single show, there is recruits. There are recruits sitting there. There's several. But does the recruiter show up? Do you show up to recruit? Do you just go to your parties to sell? Okay, let me just tell you this, people. 20 years and almost 3,000 parties. They come in there to buy. They're coming there to book. So what you need to be saying is, whose life am I going to change tonight? You're not selling kits. You're selling the opportunity to change a life. So now I'm going to move it to Bobbie because this is my passion and it's going to make me cry. When we were talking about who took the candy, who was offered candy, and when you couldn't, if you weren't offered the candy, how that made you feel, that's prejudging on our part. And when she's saying, we offer it to the bubbly person and maybe not to that quiet person. And that quiet person could be being quiet because they're reflecting inside on how this business could change their life. So that is just really important in thinking about
prejudging. Also, sometimes we think that person's so successful, they're a physician, or they're rich, or they don't need a pampered chef, or how do you know that that rich woman isn't burdened with something, just needs a night out? Maybe she don't want to look at her husband 7 nights a week, I don't know. Or maybe she'd like to talk to some grown-ups. I mean, you don't know what is going on in someone else's life. So that is just, I just encourage you. There are many different reasons that people start this business. So we'll talk about more a little bit that in a bit, but being genuine is really important. Saying something simple to someone like, gosh, I had so much fun with you tonight. That's something that means something. And if they were quiet, you can maybe just ask them a simple question about, what did you enjoy about this evening? That kind of thing, and that opens doors. But I did want to show you something that both Denise and I have used in the past to help us if we are nervous about asking everyone. This little sign here, can you read that? Says, free pantry rub if I don't ask you to join my team. If I don't ask you to host a show or join my team, you get a free gift. So if you have something like this that you say at your shop and share when you're doing your clothes, if you say this and you tell them, look, keep me accountable, I have to ask everyone, then that helps you to ask everyone and not feel, disingenuous. Sometimes people tend to feel offering it to everyone, they feel like, well, I'm saying the same thing to everybody and I feel dumb. Would you like to join my team? Would you like to join my team? Would you like to join my team? And it just, so make it genuine to the person that you're speaking to. And if you feel that there's not a connection with that person, the sign is a very easy way to say, they know that they're going to be asked. Okay? Recruiting our host is really, that's your number one person that you see. You know that they like you because they're having you to their house, right? They know that they like Pampered Chef because they're going to get a bunch of it for free. So already you have an automatic, connection with that person. During your host coaching, you're going to offer about the kit credit. You can tell them, before the date of their show, if they really would like to get started with this, that kickoff that could be their kickoff show. That's one thing that you can do there. And then if that passes and at their show, you can offer, ask their friends, hey, of you guys that are here, who would host a show for Sally if she decided to join my team and start her own business today? And inevitably, several of her friends will say that they would like to support her. And so there's another opportunity there. And then as you're closing out your show again with her, you can offer her to start her Pampered Chef business. Sometimes your hosts decide the night of their show. I have a consultant here that decided the night of her show that she would like to start their business. I have consultants on my team that decided they would like to start their business before their show, and it became their kickoff. And then I have a director here that 4 years after her first show with me, she joined my team. So you just really never know, and you always ask. So how? Now we're back to the how, Denise?
So let me just say one thing. Find the busiest person at every single party, and that's who you ask. Busy people get the job done. I had a very full-time job, 2 kids, one in high school, one in junior high. One played on 3 ball teams, one played on 2, never missed a ball game, never missed a practice, and I was not asked. Went to 8 parties. I went to a party, booked a party, 6 booked for me, went to 8 parties and was never asked. I had to call up and say, I want to do this. And her response was, do what? Okay, so people ask a busy person. I was a busy person. I didn't need the money. I had a full-time job. So she never would have thought that I wanted to do this. And here I am 20 years later, and am I ever grateful that I did? Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about, when you're out and about, okay? Because if you don't have a party, let's face it, you're not going to recruit anybody because you don't have anybody to talk to. But when you are at a party, you have, at every single party, there's probably at least 10 people. 1 out of every 10 will say yes if you ask. So this little thing here, and I'm the worst at remembering to ask. So I put this up, and I let them know at the beginning of the party that if I don't ask you, I'm going to give you a free rub. And at first I started free shipping, but now shipping has gone up a little bit. So now it's like, now I'm going to give you a rub. Because, sometimes I do forget. And I tell them it's a rub used to cooking. I'm not going to rub your body, okay? Because, you never know. But, so while you're out and about, so I'm going to see Bobbie in the grocery, and, Bobbie is going to say, why am I buying all these crescent rolls? And I'm going to say, oh, I do the Pampered Chef. I said I do in-home cooking demonstrations, and I show people how to, use very high-quality tools and get dinner on the table in 29 minutes or less. Have you heard of the Pampered Chef? And they're going to say, yeah. And I'm going to say, well, tell me your experience with it. I'm not going to throw up on this person and start telling them all this stuff and say, you want to book a party? You want to join the team? No. Tell me your experience. Oh, what's your favorite product? Oh, have you been to a party or did you host your own party? And then you let them, it's all about them. When you stop thinking about yourself and this, oh, I need one more consultant to get me to the next level, think about them. Things will start happening when you think about how you can change those people. So then I'm talking to Bobbie and say, okay, so Bobbie, tell me about your favorite product. And she's going to tell me. And then I'm going to say, well, Bobbie, is there something that you didn't get to get at that party? And then she says, oh, I so wanted that rock crock. And say, okay, well, Bobbie, let me just tell you, I know we're here checking out at the grocery, but I would love to share more with you. Here's my little mini catalog, and there's a little sticky note on it. Fill this out with your information so that I can call you at a time when it's convenient for both of us. And I'd love to share with you a little bit more about it. And so you're kind of setting up that little appointment. She's got your information on that little mini catalog. Now you need to get hers. So never leave the house without a few mini catalogs, and don't have them all rumpled and crinkly in your purse. You put them in a Ziploc and have them in there so that it looks still nice and professional. Because you dress for success, even if you're in your gym clothes and you stop at the grocery, you still want to be presentable somewhat. Because we never know. Our next director, our next consultant, our next host is going to be every place you are, if you ask. So some ways that I offer the opportunity, beside out and about, is a wide bag, okay? Because you're probably thinking, okay, at my party, okay, I'm supposed to offer it. Well, how am I going to remember that? I got to cook. I got to talk about the bookings. I got to smile at people. I got to look them in the face. How can I think about this? Get 2 bright nail color polishes, okay? I get a red and green. A red, and I put that dot on each product, except a stone that you're going to bake because it might burn in the oven, on products that come in a kit. So every time I see this manual food process, the lid, I'm going to say, oh, and did y'all know that this came in my kit? And when you do what I do, you can get all of this, for this amount of money, or for $8 or $76. Who loves to shop? I have the best deal ever. We have a sale going on right now, 76% off of our kit. That would attract me because I love bargains. And another way you could do it is through a Y bag. Get a cute little bag, go to the Dollar Tree, or you probably can find 5 things in your own purse. And I find, okay, people want to know why I do what I do, okay? And I'm going to tell them a little bit why. This is why 20 years, why am I still doing this? Let me tell you. For one, it gives me the freedom to work my own hours, all right? And I decide when I'm going to work, and I don't work 5 nights a week. I choose to work twice a week, and Mike says if I work more than that, I get grumpy, and he's not telling a lie. Then, my little sleeping mask, I never have to wake up to an alarm clock. When I wake up, when I take this off, and that's the way it goes. And then, I also get to be the stay-at-home granny. This is Mason and Landon. And they also get to go on trips with me, in which, this is it right here in a nutshell, all on the trips. I'm all about the trips. Yes, I put my kids through college on this income, and they don't have student loans, thank you, Jesus, and thank Pampered Chef, but you know what, it's all about the trips now. My kids are grown and gone, so now I get to take them and my grandkids and everybody else, and we've been to the Atlantis, and so if you want to travel free with me, talk to me at the end. And then this also allows me to save for retirement.
But the best thing I love is all my crazy friends that I have. And this little thing used to squirt the eyeballs out. I mean, we have like friends for 20 years now, even though Diane's retiring, she is not getting rid of us. We will find her in South Carolina. Yvonne and I is like, road trip, vacation. And then, you know what? Every time I go to work, it's a party. So, you know what? How many of you can go to work and legally make at least $100 in an hour with your clothes on? Not very many people, okay? And I'm going to tell you now, if you're good, you can make at least 135, because that's what an average show is. So if you are, want to be like me and have all the flexibility, in the room to stretch and grow, you're going to talk to me at the end. I'll give you, when I go over that little door prize slip, and I'll tell you tomorrow, yes, okay? And so that's one way. Another way, and that's a fun way, and that's not scary. And the reason you don't offer it is because you're scared. Get out of being scared, because it's not about you, people. It's about them. So now, another way I offer it is sometimes, when I get tired of this, then I go to something else. So I'm closing my show, and I say, okay, now, I saved the best for last. So now we're going to play a little game. And you're going to get to ask me questions about my job. And I know you're thinking, when you were putting your lipstick on, I'm not looking for a new job. Neither was I 20 years ago. But guess what? I'm so glad I did decide that I wanted to give it a try, and I did it for the products. So when you ask me a question about my job, I'm going to give you a card. And at the end of the game, then whoever has the most points is going to get a prize. And there's no question that's too personal, except you can't ask me my favorite product because I have too many. So, who wants to ask me a question? Okay, go ahead.
How much money do you make?
Okay, how much money do I make? Well, let me just say this. An average consultant will make at least $135 on an average party. However, I'm a little bit above average, and so and my hostesses are the best, and they're way above average. So I usually earn anywhere from $200 to $300, sometimes as much as $400 to $500 a party. So Rochelle, you can make as much or as little as you want. You decide, do I want to go out one day a week and make $400 to $600 a month, or do I want to go out 2 days a week and do I want to make anywhere from $800 to $1,200 to $1,500 a month? Okay, next question.
What is the green nail polish for on the product?
Oh, the green nail polish, that is for when you want to book a party, Kimberly. So when we host your party next month, you're going to be able to get this as your host gift for free, or 60% off, because that's what they're offering for 60% off. Okay? And that reminds me to talk about the bookings for next month, because it's hard to remember to talk while you're trying to cook, while you're trying to remember a recipe, and then, good God, by the time you get to the checkout chat, whatever that's called, you're like, Lord, I just want to get out of here. I just want to go home. Let me get my dirty dishes and go home. No, you're not done. So you've got to do all these different steps. But the most important part is to tell your story, and that's how I start my party. And Bobbie is going to really thoroughly go into her story. But I just tell them, I have this scrapbook over 20 years. I've been on all these wonderful vacations, and I tell them, you know what? Pampered Chef, at the end of the year, some people give a turkey. Our company gives us a vacation. So if you want to travel for free with me, you can talk to me at the end. But this is my scrapbook. You'll see some of my pictures in here. Yes, I was a little heavier, a little skinnier, many hair colors and hairstyles. But you know what? Now I'm too old to care. It doesn't matter. You can laugh at these pictures. It's okay. And you will see the proof is in the black and white. The money is right there. The paychecks are there. And so, with that said, my husband thanks you because we haven't paid for vacation in 20 years. And he thanks you because you all are helping send us to the Maya Riviera in May. And then, when I brought my grandkids in June to the Atlantis, I just said, my Mason thanks you. And then so with that said, we're going to get cooking. So, just a little bit about why I do it. Your story needs to be not a long, not drawn out thing. It needs to be like 2 or 3 sentences. But Bobbie now is going to give you her story.
How does the game end?
Oh, the game ends with, okay, when I decide that's enough questions, then we say, okay, now tally your points. An ace is 1, a face card is 10, a joker is 15, and whatever the other 1 through 9, or 2 through 9 is actually that points. Whoever has the most points, I give a prize. That's the season's best. And that's it.
Okay, so she was talking about your story. I do my story a little bit differently. I break it up in the show. In the very beginning of the show, I would introduce myself and say, hi, my name is Bobbie, and I'm your Pampered Chef this evening. I've been with Pampered Chef for 5 years now, and I absolutely love my job. So enough about me, and we're going to talk about what we're going to do tonight. And so then I launch into my whole show. Coming back at the end of the show is when I really get to the meat part of my story, because we've already enjoyed our evening together and those kind of things. So this is after shop and share. I would have talked to them about what we would get for booking and all of those things at this point. So then that's when I'm going to come to saying, earlier tonight I shared with you that I joined Pampered Chef to get all the products, right? Of course, that is why I started, but I'm going to tell you why I stay. I stay because I absolutely am passionate about helping people. I love to help people. One of the ways that I get to help people is I teach people how to get meals on the table quickly, fast, easy, and not for a lot of money. And people that eat at home are healthier. Kids that eat at home with their parents do better in school. And they grow up to be more productive adults. That's one of the ways that I help people. Another thing that, a special group of people that I get to help are my hostesses. My hostesses, I help them save money. They get all the Pampered Chef that they want, free and discounted. And then lastly, and most importantly, the people that I get to help join my team, I get to show them. So I'm sorry, this upsets me. It gets me a little more nervous in front of these people than I am in front of real people in the show. Let me find right
See, when
here.
you love what you do, it's easy to cry.
It is. When you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. That's right. Okay, let me get back to where I was. But I have to say that the most rewarding thing, honestly, has been helping others to see what I have found. And what I have found is that you have a real income with Pampered Chef. I have paid off $32,000 in debt since January 2015. That's real money, okay? And that's living too, okay?
Wow.
Lord willing, by November this year, I will be debt-free. Okay. My bold goal now, though, is to work my husband out of a job so that he can go after his passion, which is he wants to flip houses. So when you work doing what you love, it really doesn't feel like work. So I would have never believed that I could achieve what I have achieved with Pampered Chef. I have gone on wonderful trips and met wonderful friends. This company is remarkable. But the most remarkable thing about it is that anybody can do this. It's for everybody to try. I truly believe that. You will never know the things that you could achieve unless you give yourself the chance to try. So, I'm going to be talking to you later as we check out tonight. If you have some questions, I would love to bring you for coffee and a chat. And then I tell them how to fill out their order forms and about the roundup from the heart and all of those things at that point. So, and I promise you when I do that at my show, it goes a little smoother. Woohoo! I'm out of it. Yeah. I do want to tell you too about the interview. Your interview should not be a lengthy thing. Obviously, at that night after I have spoken to people, and then I get the check marks on the box that they're interested. I set up appointments and those kind of things. When we're in our interview, you don't want to verbally vomit on people. 80% of the talking should be them. You are there to learn about them and what their needs are. They're not that next person to, like Denise said earlier, to help you get to that next level or those kind of things. Our job is to help them to meet their goals. So the interview process should sound, it shouldn't be about all the things that you've accomplished and all the great, blah, 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 blah. It is, tell me a little bit about you. Tell me about your family. You have children? What do you like to do? Those kind of things. And you're taking notes on what they're interested in. And then you can ask them what interests them about Pampered Chef. So telling a little bit about yourself on these cards. These are right here in our resources. Very, very good, these interview cards. Why Pampered Chef? And this helps you stay on target with your interview process. And then they have other cards here that you would lay out in case you forget. When you're doing your interview, you lay them down on the table, and there are different topics here. Because like I said earlier, everybody's interested in a different thing. Support, money, freedom, flexibility, fun. So you find out those things and you find out what they're interested in, and then you talk to them about that. If you're talking to somebody who is looking for flexibility because they have a handicapped child, they don't want to know about going to Aruba, okay? They don't care about that. You need to talk to them about what they're interested in. So that's how these cards work. And then you,
And on the back of the cards, this gives you the wording
Yeah.
to say. So you don't have to try to figure out, okay, join us, what am I going to say? It's on the back here for you. It does the work for you.
and then when you're ending up that interview, you can ask them very simply, tell me on a scale from 1 to 10 what your interest is with Pampered Chef. And I'm going to tell you right now, if their interest is not 8, 9, or 10, don't waste your time, okay? Because you're going to be dragging them along, okay? That we don't want a kidnapper. That's why I have a 70%. And actually, I had 2 more qualify since I wrote that. So for this year, I'm past 80%, almost at 90. So it's not that I'm going to turn somebody away if they're like, oh, 6. You know what I mean? Then I'm going to cater to what they need. They need to be my hostess. They need to get some stuff for free. I need to help them with what they need because it's not about me. It is about them.
If they are below 8 to 10, I mean, at that point, what if they say, well,
I'd be like,
sign
I
up?
paid for your coffee.
No, like, if they still want to sign up, you should, like, how do you?
Okay.
I try to put the same amount of energy into all
Right.
of it.
Okay, well, then I let them know, if they go on that, well, I really don't care about the business, I just want to buy the kit. That kind of thing, is that what we're talking about? That they're,
No, they can say, well, it's about a 7, but, they don't spill that, because I have a reply to that. If they just are there below that 8 to 10.
then I just say, you know what, I'm going to give you the gift of time. And I think that right now is not really the time for you. And we're going to stay in touch, and, you're going to get a newsletter from me every month, and I'm going to get back with you in a couple of months, and we're going to see, where things are in your life.
Okay.
Because I just don't think it's maybe the right time for you right now. The gift of time. Yeah.
Okay, Kate, can I have 1 minute? Okay, I asked the question on the group, on the Grab a Spoon, what was your fear of rejection? So I just wrote down the majority of what they were. One was no time to recruit. I do not know where that comes from. Because if you have time to be at a show, you have time to offer somebody the opportunity. Let's get real. It's not about you. Remember, it's about them. And so if you're at a party, you're in front of enough people to offer the opportunity. And as Bobbie said, we don't want to get them. Our job is to offer it. It's not for us to get them to say yes, to beg them to say yes. We don't want to do that. And then the next one was no time to develop a team. Newsflash, that's your director's job. You get them to sign up, and you offer them the opportunity, it's her job to train them, okay? Once you become a future director and close to a director, then you're going to be taught how to train. And then the fear of rejection. And everybody, we all have that fear of rejection. And I used to think, are they crazy? We have the best things since sliced bread. Why don't they want this? But it's not for everybody, but it's for anybody. So when you take, again, yourself out of it and don't take that no personally, then you're going to just start offering it and just offering it, and somebody's going to say yes. So just get over it. It's sort of like the go for no's when you're calling for bookings. Use the go for no's when you're asking people to join your team. And then somebody doesn't want to train them. Well, again, or, there's PC University. If you have a friend who's in another state, PC University, if they've never been to a party before, everything is right there on the website. And that's where your upline director or your recruiter comes in. So your job is to offer it. So what we want you to do today is to be able to leave here and say, okay, I'm going to offer the opportunity. I'm going to be intentional about offering the opportunity. And if you still feel a little uncertain, you can call me, you can call Bobbie, you can call your director, your recruiter, you can call